Ladies, understanding a man's desires when dating is really important. Does he want a relationship or is he only interested in sex? Being able to decipher his intentions is key to finding a man who aligns with what you're looking for. In today's video, I'm going to talk about 6 signs that indicate a guy's primary interest is only in sex. So let's dive in and explore these signs together. Hey there, I'm Kimberly Anderson, your internationally recognized dating expert, and I help ambitious women experience the joy of life and dating and guide them to attract true love into their lives. If you like this video, if you could please do me a favor, ladies, and click the subscribe button. And by clicking the little bell, you'll be the first to see new videos that come out every week to help you step up your life and revolutionize your love life. Okay. Today we are diving into the 6 signs that indicate a guy is only interested in sex. Now, there is nothing wrong with that. Perhaps you also have been in a phase in your life, or you're in the phase of your life where you're not seeking a serious relationship and commitment. And that is completely okay if that is where you are in your life right now. The crucial aspect is aligning yourself with a man who shares your same desires. If you're seeking a deeper connection when he's only interested in sex, or vice versa, it's that misalignment that can lead to friction, unmet expectations, and emotional distress within the relationship. So let's get into the 6 signs that he only wants sex. Now, the first sign shows directly in his dating profile. Now, this may be through words, it may be through his interests, or through his choice of photos. So let's start with photos. A guy who's looking for sex will show images of himself in bed or in a towel in his bathroom, for example, so you can really see his full body. Or he might have just one photo on his profile, like a headshot. Or he might share multiple photos of himself with literally no other information regarding his personality, his interests, or his hobbies. Now, this is a generalization, of course, and it isn't always the case, but the majority of the time, if he is not putting effort into describing who he is, what his interests are, and he's only showing his pure physical side, it is very likely that he is looking for a sex-based relationship. Now, let's talk about the words he uses on his profile. So he will indicate words like friends with benefits, okay? So FWB. Now, I really value honesty, so you can't slam him for being honest. And he's literally telling you what he's looking for. If you're not looking for friends with benefits, then simply don't swipe right on him, right? Next, he may indicate, I'm just looking to have fun, or I just want to keep things casual. Now, these phrases also suggest a preference for casual relationships without deeper emotional involvement. Another one to consider is when his dating profile indicates sex positivity as one of his interests. This can be a tricky one. It can either mean that he simply wants sex, and this sex positivity comment, when coupled with the pictures of him in the bedroom and little other info on his profile, it makes it pretty obvious what he's looking for, right? Another way to view sex positivity is that he genuinely wants to be upfront and open that sex is an important and healthy part of a relationship for him. Perhaps he lived in a sexless marriage, for example, and he really wants to be explicit that for him, physical intimacy is an important part of a long-term relationship. So what should you do when you're interested in a man's profile and it indicates sex positivity? Let's say, you like his looks, you like how he's described himself, his interests, and he's put effort into his profile, yet you're really not sure how to approach this topic. Well, once you've exchanged a little bit with him and built that rapport, I encourage you to ask him. You could say, I see you describe yourself as sex positive. What does this mean for you? Or could you share your views on sex positivity? This approach allows you to gauge his intentions and see if they resonate and align with yours. Now remember, it's about finding compatibility and mutual understanding in what you both seek from the relationship. Ladies, if you're enjoying this video, could I ask that you subscribe to my channel, as it helps me provide you with lots of tailored support on your journey to love. And I'd love to ask you a question. What are the signs that you've experienced when a man only wants sex? I'd love to hear from you, and it really helps other women in the community by sharing your experiences in the comments. The second sign that shows that he only wants physical intimacy is it shows in his texts. And usually it shows right from the start, okay? He'll dive headfirst into sexual conversations because he wants to quickly gauge your interests and your intentions. He wants to know where you stand. Are you seeking a casual fling or something more substantial? Maybe even a bit of both? Messages can come across in a couple of different ways, but typically he will come in with strong and consistent compliments about your physical appearance. Now, saying he finds you beautiful or that you're attractive to him is a very good thing and healthy in dating. Or why would he be exchanging with you? It's when these comments are consistently and solely linked to your physique and your physical appearance, and nothing other than that, it's a dead giveaway that he's looking for sex. He'll also quickly make references to imagining you or wanting to be physically close to you. For example, if you're exchanging with him late at night, he'll say he's imagining being next to you in bed or asking what you're wearing. Another obvious one is that he wants to share nudes of himself or asks you for more pictures of you when there are plenty of good photos on your profile. When he gets very sexual early on, most women, they get defensive, they get upset, they get angry, and they shut him down as they're really uncomfortable with his directness and take it very personally. As with many things in life, though, ladies, it is rarely personal. Either the guy is genuinely looking to increase his body count and nothing else, in which case you are always in control, whether you want to continue the conversation with him or not, or if you actually are interested in him and there's some depth to his profile and your conversation beyond some of these signs that I've indicated in this video, you can respond to him in a way to test the waters, and to see if there's more to the conversation or not. So how might you do that? Well, one thing to bear in mind is that many men may be in the middle of exploring the dating scene after a long relationship or a marriage, and they're exploring options. They're usually enjoying the casual dating scene for a while, but they may be open to something deeper. So if you're curious about his intentions, set your boundaries in a kind, non-aggressive, accusational way. You might say, "Hey, I'm flattered by your compliments, and I do find you attractive. Though these are the kinds of conversations I reserve for someone who is my boyfriend." And you can put a smiley face at the end. This approach communicates your standards while also showing that you're interested in sexual intimacy when in a relationship. It's a great way to see if he just wants sex or possibly more. If you want to explore how to communicate using your feminine energy and discover the traits that men find irresistible, be sure to check out my videos linked at the end of this one. Okay, the third sign is that he sees you when it's convenient for him. Now, he will change his plans frequently and he won't show any commitment. I have seen this time and time again. It's all about when it's convenient for him. And when you do finally hear from him after gaps in communication over days or weeks, it's like a small window in his busy schedule when it suits him and doesn't disrupt anything else in his life. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean that he's a horrible person. It simply means that he's being practical and he's doing what suits him. He is interested in a sexual relationship, and so he treats the relationship for what it is to him. It's a pleasant physical moment of intimacy, and he's off onto other things. Remember, generally, not always, but generally, men view intimacy differently than women and tend to get less attached emotionally when there's physical intimacy than women. So if he's married or he has a girlfriend, for example, and he will see you and get intimate when it's convenient to him. Or if he simply wants something casual, he'll see you when it's convenient and there isn't any commitment for anything more. Men are very practical creatures in many ways. Now, whether this is viewed positively or negatively, that's another question. And remember, ladies, we always have a choice to continue seeing a man or not, especially if it's based solely on what's convenient for him and purely physical when you do. Now, the fourth sign that he only wants sex is that he doesn't let you into his world. So what does this mean? Well, conversations remain superficial and they're mainly linked to your physical relationship together. He wants to be close to you physically. He wants to touch you and laugh with you and enjoy a great physical moment together, but he doesn't want to introduce deeper, more personal subjects into the conversation. So you won't hear him ask much about your work, your family, or your friends. And equally, he doesn't share and let you into his world. Now, I'm not saying he won't bring up some personal topics at all, but don't be mistaken. It's more because he's connecting with you on a human level, like, when you're talking to your neighbor, but it doesn't mean he wants to pursue a relationship with you. Nor does he intend to talk about introducing, of course, his family or his friends. The mistake that I see many women make is that they think, well, he wants the sex, but maybe he wants a relationship with me. You don't really know if he wants anything deeper. And it's just safe to assume that if he's keeping the conversation surface level, and he doesn't want you to be involved in his world and he doesn't ask about yours, then he just wants sex with you. Now, the fifth sign is that he doesn't want to spend the night together. Now, I am not talking about a guy that you've been dating and you've really been hitting it off with, and you've both decided that you want to delay sex, right? He may not want to spend the night, as that would provide too big a temptation for him to get intimate early on. When you guys are sitting on the couch, kissing or rubbing up against each other for a bit too long. I'm talking about when you've agreed to be sexual with a man, and after you've been intimate, he wants to leave immediately, or he makes it clear to you that he wants you to leave after the event. Men can be very simple and goal-oriented. They got what they're looking for, and it's just as simple as that. I've experienced men, and my clients have experienced men, for example, who were divorced and still hurt by their past relationships. They were looking for physical intimacy and nothing more. So after they spent an hour or two together intimately, that was it. That was, done with that. There were no invitations to spend the night, as that would mean more time together, more conversations together, possibly emotional intimacy, when that's not what they're after. Now, the sixth sign that he only wants sex is when he answers your question on intentions. I have used this personally countless times, and if you want to save yourself weeks, if not months, dating the wrong man and men who only want to see you for sex, then use this technique. It's a skill set that I reserve for my online program members, and it has saved hundreds of women like you from heartache, confusion, and wasting their time on the wrong man. If you'd like to upgrade your skill set and learn how to turn around your love life, check out the link on my program in the description of this video. So how can you tell quickly, as early as the first text messages or even the first phone call you have before you meet a man, that he's only interested in sex? You ask. Now, this may seem simple, but most women do not dare ask. Also, ladies, there is a way to pose a question. You don't want it to come across as a loaded question, one that will backfire on him if he answers honestly. Moreover, there's a healthy way to respond to his answer, ensuring a positive, transparent experience for both of you. So if you're hoping for an honest answer, it's crucial that you create an environment where he feels safe to share his true intentions. So let's say you've exchanged a couple of texts. There's chemistry, there's some enjoyable banter back and forth. You've checked his profile a couple of times. You're liking how he presents himself, and you're enjoying your exchanges. And you seem to share some common interests. Yet, you're really just not entirely sure what he's looking for, right? So in such a scenario, I suggest saying something like the following. Hey, do you mind if I ask you a question? And he'll say, yeah, sure. And you say, what are you looking for in this app? You can be honest and add a smiley face at the end. Most of the time, a man will respond sincerely, indicating whether he's seeking something casual, a relationship, or perhaps he's open to both short-term and long-term connections. Or he'll just say, I'm looking for friends with a benefits situation. Regardless of his answer, it's crucial to maintain a relaxed, open-minded approach. Remember, his response isn't about you. It's about gathering a deeper understanding of each other's intentions. Now, this doesn't mean that you have to like his response or agree with what he's looking for, but by asking him a question and receiving a genuine response back, you've already fostered some mutual respect. If he reveals that he's seeking a purely physical relationship and that's not what you're looking for, you can respond graciously with something like, thanks so much for sharing. I really appreciate your honesty. I'll be honest, I'm seeking a deeper connection, not just a physical one. So I don't think we're quite compatible. You might be pleasantly surprised by how much men appreciate this straightforward approach. I hope you found this video insightful, and thanks so much for watching till the end. By recognizing the signs that suggest his focus is on physical intimacy only, you'll be better equipped to navigate the dating scene on your quest for true love. Sending you lots of love.